Welcome, 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 Ragers. I have a guest today, and I've been corresponding with this guest through Twitter, and then through Twitter, he came to my YouTube page. He loves what I do. He's super enthusiastic. He is a true patriot. He is a Chicago badass who is fighting for his country on every level that he can. And one thing that I love about this individual, before I announce him, is I want to say that he has really been super supportive and understanding of the fact that we are in psychological battle right now. We are in a psychological battle when it comes to entertainment, music, sports. We are in a psychological battle for the minds of Americans from the top to the bottom, from the left to the right. And I have never met anyone who understands it more than this gentleman, Beatrice Quinton Anonymous. Welcome to the show.
Hi, Red Pill Rage. Thank you so much for having me. This is an honor. I looked at your AMP video today, and just to see the passion that you have is just absolutely just awe-inspiring. Like, you inspire me to be a better person.
Oh.
So it's a privilege to be on your show, honestly.
Well, if you knew what an asshole I was before I got into the political game, you probably wouldn't say that. Yeah, I'm a jerk, but you know what? Now is the time where the country needs pit bulls. We need people like me. We need our president, Donald Trump. We need pit bulls like Matt Gaetz. We need people who are serious about getting the truth out, serious about breaking down these mental and emotional strongholds that the radical left has put on our people. And you are one of those people as well, Ben. So tell me a little bit about your background. I know that you're currently not working. So you're in the same boat that I'm in. So Now we can devote our time full time to making this country a better place.
Oh, absolutely. I've been out of work quite a bit this year. And it's a testament that we're here, because 2020 has beaten me down. You don't understand how much it's beaten me down, how many times I've wanted to end it. But you know what? I'm still here. I'm still fighting. And I could be any one of you. Let's just not give up the fight. I'm not perfect. I know I'm not perfect, but I'm willing to stand up and say, enough is enough. You've brainwashed me my whole life, and you even brainwashed me in 2020. I fell for all the propaganda, hook, line, and sinker in the beginning of the year. And it's I'm not putting up with it. And it's hard to explain it to your friends what's going on. They're too close to you. They don't listen to you. I had a conversation yesterday where I tried to prove something, and the proof was in the pudding. And she said, well, you're not going to, I won't get into the topic exactly, but I can't see it until I see it unmasked itself. It's okay, I sent her a picture, okay, in this picture, the sky is blue. And I'm saying the water is blue. And she laughed. So it's well, you just believe me. You think that I could Photoshop anything, but you have to look at it. And if you don't believe it, that's fine. But the truth is there, whether you want to accept it or not, it's the truth. And that's what we're trying to get across to people. This is my truth, but it's also what's going on. You've been brainwashed, and it's time for us to fix you. Or else you're going to crash and you're going to burn, because the truth is coming. So I can prepare you for it.
I need to get my slave pen. Y'all can't handle the truth.
There we go. Exactly. I want to prepare my friends. I don't want my friends just have their world crash on them. I'd rather have the truth come from me. And so you can hate me for a little bit, but then after you see what's going to happen, you'll say, okay, thank you for preparing me for this. But now I get on Twitter and I just battle with total strangers. And the good thing about doing that is, you're not going to get through to everybody. Yesterday I was on a post, and just this guy posted some ridiculous comments. I even forgot what the post is, but this guy ended up blocking me. The guy who's supposedly a comedian. And I'll get off on so many tangents, so you got to stop me. You got to reel me in. But this comedian has to block me. And it's just so funny that these are comedians, and they've done it for 20-some, 30-some years. They get worse and worse every year. They can't take a joke. Well, how are you a comedian? If you can't take a joke, you have to block somebody for just pointing out your hypocrisy. Then how are you a comedian? It blows my mind.
It wouldn't happen to be Michael Rappaport.
No. No, I heard you talking about him on the IMFest. He said when he took a stand against the defund the police people. So all love for Michael Rappaport. Oh my gosh.
Okay, well that's the first good thing he said.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing too. Even though I've always disagreed with Michael Rappaport, because I think he's funny, even well after I came out of the conservative closet, I still watch the show. I still listen to the I Am Rappaport Stereo podcast.
Yeah.
But when he went too far was when he got retweeted a video of the walkaway rally that I was at in Los Angeles talking shit. And it's oh hell no. And that's when I lost my shit. But anyway, speaking of psychological warfare,
yeah.
What I wanted everyone to know is that when Ben and I talked First of all, we have a major plan for 2021 that we are not going to disclose at the present moment, but I love his ideas and I love the way he can help me with my ideas. And he and I are going to be doing a lot of work after the election to get ready for 2021 to try to get the funding to launch the project that we want to launch. But it really got us thinking and looking back. Ben and I are relatively the same age, and we started really thinking about how did we get to where we're at? And there's so many influences, like I said. And we started talking about rock music. We started talking about Chester Bennington and Chris Cornell. And then we started talking about Rage Against the Machine.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, for those of you who are older than the age of 32, you probably grew up with this band. And if you used to be liberal like me, if you used to be fighting for the wrong side like I was, you will know that Rage Against the Machine was the quintessential 90s resistance, anti-government, anti-American rock band. That's what they were. And many of us who grew up on their music, as much as I respect their music, it really did a number on our minds and really groomed us for the radical leftist ideology that we see has been exponentially amplified today.
Yes.
So, Beatrice Quinton, Anonymous, I am going to allow you to share your memories of Rage Against the Machine, and I'll just chime in here and there. Go ahead.
Yes, absolutely. Let me go on by saying I'm doing a tweet series on Twitter. I've got 2 accounts. I got one that's a professional account that the aim is to get Trump into office, keep America great. Because if we don't keep America great, this country's going to shit. Absolutely. I've heard it. You've heard it many times. Like your friends have probably said, like, oh, you've warned us about socialism their whole this like last 8, 10, 12 years. Like it's never happened. Well, this is it. This is the battle versus good and evil right now. You don't want to believe it, that's fine. But I'm telling you, this is it. So, just that's why I'm going through all these links to go through it. And my other post is my personal account, which is basically saying, this is my opinion. You don't have to believe anything that's my opinion, but it's my opinion. You want to battle me? Let's have a debate. Let's talk about it. Just tell me why you disagree. Don't just shut me out. Don't just cancel. The cancel culture is the worst thing that's happened to this country. And it's, it started as something else and it's devolved into just taking all of us out, social media wise, whatever you want to call it. Mm-hmm. So I can read you my post, or I can read you my notes. Where would you like me to start? Just
whatever you want to do. You got the floor.
Let's go ahead and show you what I wrote. Because unfortunately it's not really, maybe I got to share my screen here. Let's see. It's not really taken off at all, but it's fine. People are going to learn. People are going to find out about it. If they don't, I wrote it for myself, and I'm extremely proud of it. And that's what art is all about, right? Mm-hmm. It's like you do it for yourself, and if people want to join in, hey, join in. And they're going to see great people, great patriots like you, and they're going to want to be on your side. They're going to want to be in your brand because they see the positivity. They see how you're trying to make a difference, and we can go into so many different subjects. But I just love what you did this weekend, and it was great. So basically, my post. That's my professional tweet. Starts like this. Hello, everybody. This is Tom Morello from Rage Against the Machine. His music was fun and exciting in the 90s. Now that the movie is played out in real life, it's really not that cool. I mean, it's like, I will go into more, but yeah, like he preaches about being anti-corporate America. Okay, sure. And did you know he's worth $35 million? I mean, I guess he never practiced what he preached. He certainly wasn't on an indie label his whole career.
No, they weren't. Nope.
No, absolutely not. And to his credit, he had a radical mother and a dad who left when he was young. And maybe that's why he says the things he says. And I'll stop right here and I'll just say this post was brought by somebody I didn't screenshot. I've been screenshotting a whole lot of things. At the end of the year, I just want to do like a hangover montage of all my screenshots, all my pictures. That's to be a cool thing to do. But I just say, so this is his quote. He says to everybody blaming others for their problems, you're not mad at Trump, you're mad at your dad.
Woo! Like
yeah, and it's like I'd love to credit the author. I can't take credit for myself. But whoever you are out there, that is the awesomest quote, one of the awesomest quotes of the year. There's been so many great ones, so many great patriots out there doing their thing, yourself included. All right, and then I get to my person not done. Hello, everybody. This doesn't count. This is Bruce Springsteen, the boss. He's a very talented musician. He has fans everywhere, and especially in New Jersey. His song Born in the USA, maybe about something else. But when I put it on, I can only think of one thing. Another classic song of his is Glory Days. When it comes on the radio, everyone pays attention. It's such a powerful song. Another great song he did was called The Ghost of Tom Joad, and Rage Against the Machine covered it and played it great. So I'm giving Rage Against the Machine their credit. They're awesome musicians, like you said.
Growing up in Los Angeles, where Los Angeles is another, live music rock capital of the world, not just New York, not just Chicago, not just other places on the East Coast, not just Seattle. You know, California was right there with, we rocked with the best of them.
Oh, absolutely.
And one thing, you know, I wanted to mention was that, you know, every time there was ever a protest, and I actually remember being at the huge protest, had about 500,000 people in Hollywood to protest the Occupy, what is the word I'm looking for? The occupation of entering Afghanistan.
Okay.
And I'm telling you, in LA at least, you know, it was almost like every single protest, Rage Against the Machine was the anthem. Like their songs were the anthem at every single protest. And when we talk about, you know, spirits and principalities and darkness and how all of that enters our lives and manipulates us, you know, when you hear these songs over and over and over and over within this one context, you really begin to believe it over time. And it's not just kids my age. It was people older than me, people younger than me. The Berkeley hippies love Rage Against the Machine. You know, everybody loves this band to justify their bad behavior, to justify attacking our government and our leaders, and to justify attacking police. And that's how it was in the 90s and the early 2000s. So how much worse is it today? B, tell me,
yes.
When did you first start listening to Rage, and what did that music's messaging tell you?
Yeah. And then 94, when Kurt Cobain died, I started getting into music. And it was like, it was too bad I missed that range, that 91 to 94. Like they say, like for me, I don't know what your opinion is on music, but 91, the music was awesome. And then to 94 is where it hit its peak for me. And then after that, it's went downhill. Like 1994, I think, is the best year of music. If you want to battle me on that, like I'll take you on. Like I believe that's the best year of music.
I'll agree. Yeah, rock started getting bad right around 1996 when they let Limp Bizkit in the game.
Yes.
It was like over for me. The only good bands that I'm even aware of right now is probably Queens of the Stone Age and American Eagles of Death Metal.
Oh wow.
Those are the last of like the real garage bands that were like not pop.
Right.
You know? So I 100% agree with you on that. But
yes.
Go ahead.
Like I've enjoyed the other genres. Like I've enjoyed like the early 2000s. I forget what they call that genre. You remember the Hives and the Strokes?
Yeah,
like those bands were cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I love the energy of those bands, like Sum 41. Like I love the energy there. But there's just something about 94, like the alternative bands. We had Green Day, we had all them all. And then I started. Then my friend's like, you gotta listen to Rage Against the Machine. And he said his cousin like is really like it's big in Ohio. Like, okay, well I don't really hear too many people talking about it here. And like you say, your point is you're LA, I'm Chicago. Well, Tom Morello's from the Chicago area. Zach is from LA, right? I believe. Mm-hmm. It's like we get those influences there. But then when the second album came out, it's in my notes. When the second album came out, it's called Evil Empire, and it's named after a Ronald Reagan quote about Russia or something. Like, okay, so you're taking that, like, okay, you're super radical. When you hear the music, you hear Bulls on Parade, and it just smacks you in the mouth. Like, oh yeah, Bulls on Parade. I don't know what the hell you're talking about, but we have the Chicago Bulls in Chicago. Like, I love it. Like, I'm on board. And then that first song on it is, I think it's, what's the first track on the album? People of the Sun. Uh-huh. It just starts it so well. Like you're into it right away. And then you have the song about Down Rodeo. You have plenty of great songs on that CD. So I'm just enjoying the music because you're just sitting there. It's like, okay, I get it. You have problems with America. You have problems with corporate America. Okay, fine. I'll live with wherever you are. And that's just kind of how it started. And then the second CD came out, and it was still okay, but it didn't have the fire that the second one did. Then you go back and I listen to the first album, and the first album is just amazing. Like from Bomb Track all the way to the end with Freedom. Like you want to stand up for freedom. I don't know who the guy who's the Leonard Peltier. I didn't even know who the hell he was, but I wanted to save him. Like they inspired me to save this guy. Like, but I'm just a kid. What am I gonna do? I'm just at the time, like we're talking 96 when that album came out, the second album. So I'm 19 at the time. Like, what am I gonna do? Mm-hmm. Like, I'm so dumb that I'm not easily manipulated. Like a lot of these kids are super smart, so you can manipulate them all you want because they don't have any street skills. I'm a C student, so you can only get to me so much, but I'm not going to go out there. I'm not going to burn down buildings because I'm not stupid. So there's only so much you can go with, Right. But I love the passion.
How do you see this rebellious, okay, now that we're grown up, okay, yeah. You and I have taken the red pill, and we can go back and we can look at these music influences and these entertainment influences that we had in the 90s and see where the seed got planted. But many of us, even at our age, have not taken the red pill. And they really still believe this shit.
Yes.
They really still believe, you know, marching in the streets and causing a ruckus and wearing Navarro, whatever his name is,
Right.
Cuerva. What is his name? I don't know.
I'm not doing the research on that. I care less.
No, like they really still think that these people are heroes.
Yeah.
Like, okay, we're grown now. We're grown now.
Right.
What is your message to all the 90s kids who are still on this radical ideology because of this angst? It's like they never grew out of the teenager angst.
Right,
Here's your
exactly.
message for them.
You have to grow up. You have to see the real heroes. I worked at a place in 2001, right when 9/11 happened. And 9/11 happens, and that Friday, we're watching Bush and all them doing the dedication. And my mentor is my boss, but the guy I worked with was also a mentor of mine. He was about to retire a couple years later, and he's a Cuban immigrant. And you can just see the room that we're in, and all of us are in awe of what's going on. He's crying his eyes out. Like that's a hero to me. Somebody who struggled to get to this country and knows what it's like to be in a place where you don't have a voice. We are the luckiest people. We are blessed. We're not lucky. Lucky is Lucifer. Lucky is whatever you want to call it. I am blessed that I'm an American. I'm blessed that my parents did the right thing. Exactly. Slam. Like this is the best country in the world. You don't see that. If you don't see that the underprivileged have the opportunity to get up off their bootstraps and do it, then I don't know what to tell you. Like I'm unemployed because I choose to be unemployed right now. I don't have to work if I want to work. Like I just want to be with you. That's the thing. Like I'm ready to get on the board. Like I don't want to just take any random job. That's gonna compromise. It's gonna compromise my unemployment. Like no, that's not fair. I'm enjoying it. I worked my butt off. And like someone said, like you earned this time. So I'm enjoying it. You want to be a radical? You want to tear down someone's building? Look at yourself in the mirror and just feel. You got to see things from both sides. If you were marching the streets, like who do you think? I haven't seen any statistics, but you see all the screenshots. Like this Andy, what's the Andy's guy? Yeah, he's posting all the screenshots of all the kids like being. It's like, do you see many people our age doing this? Do you think?
I think a lot of them are our age. I think a lot of Antifa people are our age. And okay. Yeah, I'll let you finish your thought and then I'll close with mine. Okay,
because my question is, do you see things from both? Like if you're burning down a building, do you see this from both sides that you are taking away someone's livelihood? This is you're not punishing the right person.
Exactly.
If you are anti-government, like you don't know who's controlling you. First of all, obviously, right?
Right.
And you're not taking your angst on the right person. You're taking your angst on somebody who's innocent in all this, and that's what's despicable. Because you see, like Kyle Rittenhouse has more guts than me, and he's half my age. He gets out there and he's defending the places that he loves. And I posted a screenshot on my cousin who's a leftist, posted it on her Facebook, and she's like, get this off here. It's him cleaning up after the mess.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Yeah. It's people who have no fathers and it's people who have nothing.
Yeah.
Empty people are going to take and take. They really believe that they are living in either they believe they're living in a video game or they believe in this Robin Hood, steal from the rich, give to the poor.
Right.
These are people who have never been an entrepreneur. They've never owned a business. They've probably worked a lot of shitty jobs, working for individuals that maybe didn't treat them great. I know what that feels like. They've probably taken a college. They probably have a huge college debt that they that they can never repay. Mm-hmm. I kind of know what that feels like, Yeah. But at the end of the day, it wasn't until I became conservative that I realized like every single reason that I'm at where I'm at financially, socially, professionally, it was all on me. And when you constantly have someone in your ear, whether it be entertainers or sports people or the media or your friends telling you it's the man, and you have to remember these Antifa people, these are just the new freaking hippies. Okay, because the hippies didn't want to work. The hippies wanted to get high all day. The hippies wanted to be promiscuous without consequence. And now we see what the children of those people are, or we just see the new versions of that. And there's something about that white angst that I just don't understand. I call it the Patty Hearst syndrome. You know what I mean? Okay. And I'm going to do a video about Patty Hearst and like how I see what she did. I think she was just a rich white girl who wanted to be bad. Yeah. I really do. And I think there's a lot of them out there who are like that. They really don't have any inner motivation, any inner vision for their lives because they've been told that everybody's taking something for you, so they feel justified in taking it back. I talked to a BLM protester back in June, and he honestly believed that it was okay to smash windows because the insurance is going to take care of it. But I was like, you idiot. Okay, we're not talking about the Nike store and Target. Okay, yeah, their insurance is going to take care of it, but it's still going to fuck over their employees who needed to go back to work after quarantine. So you're now taking a month's pay out of their pockets. Many of them are women. Many of them are gay. Many of them are Black and Mexican who work these retail jobs, who work these cafe jobs, who work these restaurant jobs. But you see, Antifa and BLM, they're not smart enough to figure that out. Right. You know, and it really does break my heart. They honestly believe that they're living in this video game and that they're honestly accomplishing something. They don't see that they're hurting the very people they claim to be sticking up for. And it's just insane. Like, it's just too much. Right. These people, they need to get a life. They need to grow up. I know a 47-year-old veteran in Berkeley. And, you know, the ones that scream the loudest are really the biggest freaking losers. They really are. So this 47-year-old in Berkeley, he says he's a veteran, but after spending a lot of time with him, I think there might be some stolen valor issues. Yeah. This guy, you know, he stands out in the medians, you know, panhandling. He's homeless. I actually had him on my Beard podcast a while ago. Oh, okay. It took me a long time. I had to spend a lot of time with him and get to know him a lot to realize, like, this guy's like really playing the game here. But a lot of these, you know, homeless veterans in Berkeley, first of all, they're using stolen valor to begin with. Secondly, they have crack and heroin addictions that they don't want to admit to. But they'll be the first ones at the protests throwing bricks at cops. Yeah. They'll be the first ones at the protests talking about burn down the system. These are the Occupy people who developed into the Black Lives Matter people. Yep. And 40 years ago, they were just freaking hippies. Okay. So these same individuals that have these, you know, that are begging for money every day, yelling at cars and talking about the government and talking about the man and holding their signs and their hashtags. These same individuals would be considered criminals in any other environment. Right. But because they're protesters, they get away with all of this, and then they're fueled by these lies because they just can't seem to check their receipts, and they're believing the lies coming from the very corporate entities that they claim they don't respect. Mm-hmm.
Exactly. Well, the other parts of my notes was just talking about the Occupy movement. One of my best friends, we just reconnected, and he said he was in the trenches with the Occupy movement. You see that in the video for the lead track. Is it Testify? It might be one of those. And you see them at the Occupy movement, and you think it's so great, but he's like, my friend told me they manipulate these kids, and you don't know what they do. They're in their brains, and it's just so sad that people can be easily manipulated. And if you want to rebel against something, fine. I'll tell you exactly who to rebel against. I can't do the work for you, but I'll point you in the right direction. I lead the horse to water, but I can't make it drink. You know who to rebel against. It's all these globalists that we're trying to defeat. And you know what? If we lose this election, it's gonna be awful, because these globalists are trying to take us down. And Tom Morello, I'm sure he's just sitting there on his yacht eating caviar. One of those biggest hypocrites. And we're just fighting this sale. We're just fighting to talk. We're not even fighting. We're not beating anybody up. You saw the Blexit movement. Candace posted how they ended with the Pledge of Allegiance, as opposed to Black Lives Matter, which is going to end in a riot. Mm-hmm. Like, whose side logically makes sense to you? Like, I love everybody. I love every race. I love every religion. I love every sexual orientation. Like, I just want to be friends with everybody. Yeah. But you can only accept the love if you're willing to listen to other people. Don't cancel. Don't do anything stupid. We are in this together. We are fighting the same fight. It's a line from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. We're fighting the same fight. Why are you tripping me up? Like, it makes perfect sense.
All right, B, I want you to let everyone know how to find you, both again on Twitter, and if you have any other platforms, list it right now before we close.
Yes. Let me pull it up here. It's Be Anonymous. It's Be Anonymous 20 on Twitter. Let me pull it up here. Yeah, so you go to @BeAnonymous20. That's the professional account. That's going to talk about how I want to get Donald Trump elected. Mm-hmm. There's other one. There's just a random thing that Twitter gave me, so it sucks. But it's BANONYM 523-66955. Just go to Be Anonymous20 @BeAnonymous20, and I have it in the bio. Because all I'm saying is I'm a peaceful activist. I just want peace again. I want this election to be the spot where we come together. Hopefully good wins over evil, and then we start to fix it. We Benjamin Button this thing, but we're going to be a better nation because we're all going to come together. All of us. It's going to be better than the 80s. We're going to come together. It's going to be one great nation. And